Hi, in this video I will talk about the Abraham Surah. This is the Abraham Surah, the first verses, and let's start with the Abraham Surah for the verse 17. Uh, he will gulp it down, though he cannot stand it, as death comes to him from every direction, but he will never die. Awaiting him is a terrible retribution. So it is consistent with the rest of the Quran and with the depiction of the hell uh, descriptions, because it should be eternal, and that is coming to him, but he cannot die. Or so that's it's consistent with the rest of the Quran, because it should last for eternally, and they should. And they cannot stand it, and they cannot die. And if they die, it is over. So it should be eternal pain. The allegory of those who disbelieve in their Lord. Their works are like ashes in a violent wind on a stormy day. They gain nothing from whatever they earn. Such is the farthest strain. So they can choose not to believe in God, but they cannot collect anything. Eventually they will die, and they will lose everything. Maybe some are afraid of losing their profit, but it's like ashes in it. It's a very beautiful. Their works are like ashes, and at the same time, if you don't believe any God, and so if you and you cannot, you're not different than some object, and you're not different than door, or you're not different than you're bad. So, and their works are like ashes in a violent wind on a stormy day, and it's a stormy day, and they gain nothing. So the ashes cannot get it, and they are they don't have any guidance, and they're just going and they're doing things impulsively and instinctively, and it will lead them to far astray from the right path. Do you not realize that God has created the heavens and the earth for a specific purpose? So later we see it mentioned for a specific purpose. If He wills, He can remove you and substitute a new creation in your place. This is not difficult for God. When they all stand before God, the followers will say to the leaders who used to follow you, "Can you spare us even a little bit of God's retribution?" They will say, "Had God guided us, we would have guided you. Now it is too late. Whether we grieve or resort to patience, there is no exit for us." Uh, and the devil will say, after the judgment had been issued, "God has promised you the truthful promise, and I promised you, but I broke my promise." So they will say some for temporary pleasure, and temporary pleasure doesn't bring actually happiness. In fact, I had no power over you. I simply invited you, and you accepted my invitation. Therefore, do not blame me. So it's afterlife, and blame only yourselves. My complaining cannot help you, nor can your complaining help me. I have disbelieved in your idolizing me. The transgressor have incurred a painful retribution, as mentioned in the previous verses. As for those who believe and lead a righteous life, they will be admitted into gardens with flowing streams. They abide therein forever, in accordance with the will of their Lord. Their greeting therein is peace. So it's beautiful that every time that hell is mentioned, and also the heaven is mentioned, do you not see that God has cited the example of good word as a good tree whose root is firmly fixed, and its branches are high in the sky. It produces its crop every season as designed by its Lord. God thus cites the examples for the people that they may take heed. So, if you say good words, and it can help people, and it can be the product will be in the heaven maybe. But if you say bad word, then it won't be like that. So, and the good tree is like you say something good, you help people, and then it makes things better, and so it is important, and uh, and it's also sweet related to the allegory mentioned, I guess. Those who disbelieve in their Lord, their works are useless, and they're like ashes in a violent wind on a stormy day. So that in this, so we can see that, and the example of the bad word is that of a bad tree chopped at the soil level, and it has no roots to keep it standing. God strengthens those who believe with the proven word, in this life and the hereafter, and God sends the transgressors astray. Everything is in accordance with God's will. Have you noted those who responded to God's blessings by disbelieving and thus brought disaster upon their families? Hell is their destiny wherein they burn, but a miserable end. They set up rivals to rank with God and to divert others from His path. Say, enjoy for a while. Your final destiny is hell. So interestingly, and in the previous example, they seem to not have any God, and here they have rivals to rank with God. Exhort my servants who believe to observe contact prayers and to give charity from our provisions to them secretly and publicly, before a day comes when there is neither trade nor nepotism. God is the one who created the heavens and the earth, and He sends down from the sky water to produce all kinds of fruit for your sustenance. He has committed the ships to serve you on the sea in accordance with His command. He has committed the rivers as well to serve you. So it is important that we use rivers too. He has committed the sun and the moon in your service continuously. He has committed the night and day to you, serve you. And He gives you all kinds of things that you implore Him for. If you count God's blessings, you can never encompass them. Indeed, the human being is transgressing, unappreciative.